So, ladies and gents, another day, another Marvel nonsense. Blade rewrites may have reduced or scrapped Kit Harington's return as the Eternals' Black Knight. Now, actually, this builds off of some previous information we had regarding the Mahershala Ali Blade reboot from Marvel. It all sounds like a complete S show, just as an FYI. None of this sounds positive. The only positivity is that the stars being potentially difficult could be leading to a better script. That's the only positivity. So we had some previous reports about, Captain Marvel's Brie Larson, but then there was also some information about Mahershala Ali, basically expecting better treatment because he's a two-time Oscar winner. He's actually a really, really good actor. Believe it or not, he was in Predators, which loads of people seem to forget. But he was really good in that. Big, big dude. In that, anyway. And then obviously sort of shrunk down for other roles that he's been in. So, here's the previous report, and then we'll cut to the new information, because this kind of builds off of that, and it's from the same source, Jeff Snyder of the Hot Mic podcast. So, in terms of Captain Marvel's Brie Larson, she's causing loads of issues on the Marvels, but also quite rightly so. I don't want to get into that too much, but, I can understand it and I can believe it because, hey, the whole thing was supposedly built around her and now she's been cut out. Yeah, I'd be pissed too. You would be as well. And you're a liar if you say otherwise. But anyway, so he says, who else was in that situation? Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pine, Chris Pratt. These guys aren't really divas. They know their place. Brie Larson, and there is someone else. You know who else had a Marvel movie built around them before anything came into place? That would be two-time Oscar winner Mahershala Ali with Blade. That got a new director in November, and here we are 5 months later with no update on casting. See where I'm going with this stuff. And so this is true. Brie Larson got given the role before anyone was there, same as Mahershala Ali, which typically isn't actually the case. Normally, there'd be a director, there'd be a writer, then they'd go out and cast. These people were given the role first because they, to Marvel, they can bring something to the brand. They are someone they can prance out on stage and go, look what we've got. So they feel like they're owed something, and they are in that regard. Brie Larson, an Oscar winner, Mahershala Ali, a two-time Oscar winner. These people want things done a certain way, and they carry the weight to get their way, and yet sometimes causes delays. And then so furthermore, with respect to the Mahershala Ali stuff, Mahershala Ali wanting script changes all the time, maybe at the end of the day this benefits it. Because I think this is clear in the final product. I don't know who could argue this with me, but Kevin Feige is worn thin. Okay, he's putting out fires on Blade, putting out fires all over the place. And this is true, just as an FYI, because Marvel's not been doing good at the moment, and Blade is a complete shit show. There were just boring, bland fight sequences. I think there was a total of 2, if I remember rightly, in the previous reports on this stuff. And this isn't a product which... This isn't difficult to get right. Blade isn't difficult to get right. It's really... It's not. I don't understand what the hassle is. But Snyder said, again previously, Mahershala Ali feels like Blade is his movie, as this is me and you are going to build it around me, rather than this is what we're doing, now we're going to find an actor to fit it, which is true. That's literally what they did. So what's happening now? Well, Blade rewrites have been happening all the time. This has been going on for ages now. And it looks like they're just removing the Black Knight from it, which you kind of should anyway. Like, the tease of Mahershala Ali's voice at the end of the Eternals was just so weirdly left field. I know, like, it kind of makes sense in some regard in terms of lore and canon and things, but yeah, not really a cool character to have anyway. Kit Harington wasn't a great individual in that film, and that film completely bombed as well. So here's the latest, right? Eternals somewhat dropped the ball on Kit Harington's Dane Whitman, and we can't help but feel like the character joining Cersei and her fellow immortals on their mission would have helped to better establish him in the MCU. That's very true. On the plus, a post-credit scene at least teased his eventual transformation to the Black Knight. Who cares? Honestly, who cares? These characters aren't going to be done justice. After watching on helplessly while the woman he loves was taken from Earth by the celestial Arisham, Dane contemplated picking up the ebony blade, only for a voice to ask whether he was ready for that. It was Mahershala Ali's blade. He confronted the teacher, with the assumption being that Black Knight's story would continue in the Daywalker's planned solo movie, which was basically what was going to happen. But then there was also reports that there's going to be like Blade's daughter, and they were just going to hand it straight over to her anyway, because this is the MCU at this point. So, whatever. But anyway, there's been loads of creative teams, loads of delays, and Jeff Snyder recently shared an update on the hot mic, explaining things have gotten a little better with Blade. The script is leaner and meaner, and they cut out the fat. But it's only 87 pages. A page is a minute, for all intents and purposes. That's how you view a script. So, what? It's not even an hour and a half? I mean, look, I like a good hour and a half movie. But this will be the first, one of the first Marvel movies that have been chopped down like that for a long, long time. He says this, but the script I heard about was like 87 pages, like there wasn't enough, and they'd shaved it to the bone. Again, yeah. A Marvel movie at 87 pages doesn't sound good. And I say that just from the perspective of, we know that there's too much bloat in these films anyway, and I can't imagine what they've cut out is bloat, unnecessary bloat, because they're still going to have the same nonsense in there, the same crappy little messaging that's always in these films. And so realistically, what you're shaving out is interesting stuff. He says this, what they cut out, I heard, is that Blade was going to tie in with Eternals and Kit Harington's Black Knight. Black Knight's not really involved in the Blade thing anymore. But then, check this out. They may be recasting a few parts, including maybe the daughter. Was it like a 14-year-old girl? They may recast that. Now, the interesting... I don't think the Black Knight's interesting to have in Blade. And definitely not the daughter. But this is what they're choosing to cut out, right? You're choosing to cut out the Black Knight, but you're still keeping in the daughter element, which they're just going to hand it straight on over to her anyway. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Utter nonsense. You're still pushing forward with an Eternals 2. Set to... Blade. That's set to be released next year. Is it? Fuck. Honestly, is it hell? Come on now. This film is just... This is an embarrassment to Marvel at this stage. They're just embarrassing themselves. Absolutely embarrassing themselves. And again, the Black Knight's not that interesting at all. And I don't really care that it's going to tie into Blade or anything like this. But you're choosing to cut that out but keep the daughter element, and the daughter's just going to be a handover thing? No, that's super lame. Super, super lame. This should be about establishing the character of Blade, not the character of the Black Knight, and not his daughter. Establishing the character of Blade. You know, what was Iron Man like? Right? We weren't focusing on Iron Kid, were we? Iron Lad. Goodness sake. Absolute nonsense. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of this down below. Again, another day, another Marvel embarrassment. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Join the channel to become a member. If you enjoy chilled members-only streams, we do them on Thursdays after the HCast stream. Anyway, thanks so much, guys. Give the video a like, and please do share it. Take care.